we got to show the Tulsi video. It is a lot shorter video and it's kind of straightforward. People want to see what she said about AOC. So let's just quickly. It's less interrupting on this one, Nick. If you haven't seen it,
I don't think I've seen this yet.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 minutes, and it's pretty straightforward. But if you do want to interrupt, I mean, if you do have something to say, just
I've been wondering why, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, because obviously I don't pay attention too much on this. But I've been surprised I haven't seen Tulsi go after AOC more, right? Because she's been like the new right wing media darling, right? She's the perfect profile, and she about to give AOC hell for quite some bit now, because she can play the woman of color angle on the right, going after AOC. So I'm surprised we haven't seen this yet. I'm surprised we haven't seen the Tulsi AOC beat that much. So I think they were probably waiting for this announcement to start it. I don't know. We see, but I'm down for it. Let's see. Let's watch this video. I had no idea about this. You kind of breaking this to me. So
I'm breaking it. I haven't. Well, I watched part of it, so I ain't gonna say that. I haven't watched all of it.
Yeah,
so
I haven't seen it. So
what happened to AOC? And do you see that same kind of heat on the street?
That
dude is the biggest about the Ukraine war.
I don't know what happened to her or what she believes in, but I hope everyone was paying attention to what those two young men were saying and paying attention to the pain and the anguish and the fear and the concern that they were expressing to their representative in Congress. The fact that she was so dismissive of them points to the bigger problem in Washington. One of the main reasons why I left this Democratic Party of today is because they have become the party of war hawks. We are literally sitting on the precipice of nuclear disaster. You hear these young men saying nothing else matters if we are all destroyed in a nuclear war that President Biden and the Democratic leaders in Congress have led us into, and they are completely failing in their responsibility, the president's foremost responsibility, to keep us safe, to keep us free.
Are there any Democrats that come to mind right now that are asking tough questions about the war in Ukraine?
Not a single one.
I think mostly those questions come from the right. Well, what happened on the left?
Not a single one. And Jesse, if you'll remember that $40 billion funding package that went to Ukraine, the very big one in the beginning, there have obviously been many since, but in that one, there was not a single Democrat in the House or the Senate that voted against it. Not a single one. I believe there was a total of 66 Republicans in the House and the Senate. No Democrats. They have been absolutely silent. So these people are right. Where are the so-called progressives? Where are the peace champions, the AOCs, the Bernies, all the people who claim to be representing this movement? They're absolutely silent, and they are the ones leading us into nuclear war.
The protesters, you don't really see a lot of protesters on the street about the Ukraine situation. Why do you think that is?
I think
I swear, I'll be real quick. I'll just be real quick.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me pause it. There you go.
I have a strong theory that this shit is all theory, right? And I told you guys, AOC and Bernie Sanders, they walked right into his trap, and I think this shit is on purpose, bro. Like, how do you allow Tulsi Gabbard, who is not anti-war, by the way, how do you let her drag you like this? Because I don't like Tulsi. We've roasted Tulsi many times on this, but in this segment, and you can point out to her hypocrisies, whether the fact that she likes some pro-war Republicans, the fact that she's friends with Sean Hannity, bro. Like,
right.
So anyway, but you can point to all that all you want. But what she is saying about Bernie Sanders and the squad is 100% true, and that is an attack they left open for themselves. So the people who apologize for AOC and Bernie, you guys don't even make any sense. They are hurting your movement. Because now, whenever people organize, like, I'm organizing for progressive ideas. Now people are going to think, oh, are you a Ukraine supporter now? Bernie and AOC's embarrassment to the working class movement, and it's incredible that people apologize for it. And it's a shame that they are so bad they allow a lane for Tulsi to attack them on. But go ahead, let's play. Yeah. Let's finish.
And the thing is, as far as Tulsi, we've said this, or I know I've heard you say it specifically, at least in a tweet, and me. Like, I've never really even considered Tulsi on the left. So this wasn't a personal thing to me. Oh, she left and Democratic Party. Like, I'm not invested in the Democratic Party. I don't care. And I never really considered her left. So her going to Fox News, like some of these, white leftist media heads are, oh, we predicted this predicted what? She's never really been a leftist at all, but I guess
you can find a tweet. I don't have to dig it up because I don't know how to show you guys my old tweet, but I remember I tweeted it was like sometime after the primary, I was telling people like, if you're a Bernie supporter and Tulsi supporter, leave right now. And I remember Tulsi fans got mad at me. I'm like, God, nope, leave right now because it's gonna get embarrassing. Because my message then was, guys, stop trusting politicians. These people who stand Tulsi, these people who stand Bernie, these people who stand AOC, they make my stomach crawl. They make my skin crawl. Like, even when I supported Bernie, I was still friends with people like Misty. I was friends with a lot of people that criticized Bernie, even when I supported him, because even when I was supporting Bernie, I was like, all right, he's not above criticism. He definitely did some fucked up shit. I always tell people, like, the worst thing you want to do, and that's the mistake that Jose made, that people are capitalizing on, do not think these politicians are on your side. They're playing their role. Even Tulsi, when speaking truth here about AOC, is playing her role. And we got to understand that this class analysis and the class antagonisms, it cannot be reconciled through this political theater. And so what I mean, and to translate that theory to English, Tulsi is playing her class role. So what she's doing here is not in your best interest, even though she's telling you the truth here. They're playing a game the same way Bernie Sanders and AOC play a game. That's why I'm like, stop allowing these politicians to even be in a position to disappoint you. We should have more focus on the people instead of them anyway. But let's we can continue the video unless you have something you want to add.
Yeah, I do. So I'm all for leaving the Democratic Party. But if you're leaving a Democratic Party, because for me, I should not have to say I'm not going to to me, the Republican Party, that's why I'm really talking. It's a given they're terrible. Like, that's built into the system. Like, I don't need to say it's in the own duopoly narrative, they're the bad guys. I don't need to say that. But if you're leaving Democrats to go to GOP, to me, you're not even serious. If you're all your critiques, you're war hawks, you're this, you're a capital, and all this, and then you say I'm going to vote Republican. It's like what does that mean? Like Kim Iverson did that. I was like what does that do?
I want to add something else. If you do that, you're probably the most unserious.
Right.
If you do that, you're so invested in the two-party duopoly that you feel like you got to make a LeBron James style announcement.
Taking my talent.
You're so invested in the two-party duopoly. You're like, I'm leaving. I'm going to the other side. So people said Tulsi is. I see one person already. Tulsi independent. She's stuck for a Trump supporter though. That's supporting the two-party duopoly. I do not care if you call yourself independent.
Right. Oh yeah.
Republican. So I see people. I see people say this all the time. Not to pick on you, not to pick on this person.
Just like with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is technically an independent, but he is so intertwined with the Democrats. He is a Democrat. It's the same thing.
This shit does not matter if you're stumping for a member of the two-party duopoly. Yes, we're not playing around. You can't say you're independent by stump for Republicans sometimes. Fuck out of here.
No,
that is garbage.
No.
Imagine if I was like, yo, I'm an independent, y'all. Then I went to stump for shit to leave. Y'all niggas will roast me. I said that. But Tulsi does that. Y'all don't blink. What the hell? If you stumping for someone in part of the two-party duopoly, you are an agent of that party. I explained it so many times. But anyway, let's we can continue the video if you want.
Using the same parroted pro-war talking points that the Democratic Party is using and not doing their job in raising important questions about how our taxpayer dollars are being used and what are the costs and consequences to the American people for these war hawks who are leading us into World War III.
You spoke recently about something, maybe it had something to do with your move away from the Democratic Party. I want to play some of that for the audience and you can explain.
What happens in our society
Speaking
when we have people
but you're
in
independent. Bro, y'all see people get. Sorry, go ahead. You play the video. Play the video.
Power who deny the existence of objective truth. What happens is then there is no such thing as truth. There is no such thing as reality. Truth becomes whatever the people in power at any given moment want it to be.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's obviously a huge issue in and of itself, but the underlying one is even more concerning, which is when we have people in power who deny that there is such a thing as truth, then there are no boundaries to how far they will go. The truth becomes whatever they want it to be on any given day. And they have, as you talked about earlier, they have the power of the law and law enforcement entities that they are weaponizing and politicizing against those who refuse to comply with whatever their edict is of the day. And that is a dangerous thing for any democracy.
It's a dangerous road when you look
Tulsi
back at
Gabbard
history,
discovered
right?
how capitalism works. Tulsi Gabbard in 2022 discovers how capitalism works. Who
That's
do you guys
actually the
think
end of the
owns
video. That's the end of the
media?
video.
Who do you guys think owns the media? Who do you guys think demonized MLK to the point where he had a 73% disapproval rating? Why do you think white people will have a hateful disdain towards black activists, the Black Lives Matter and Ferguson protesters? Because capitalists control the media and they demonize their enemies. So Tulsi has a bunch of normie supporters who hear her say this like, oh my God, Tulsi is so profound. Nigga, you explain shit that is very basic and you pretending that only one side is doing it. That's not impressive to me. I'm sorry. It's just her pretending only one side is doing this.
That's the point that I wanted to make, is that it's like this pretending that it's just one side is a problem. And that to me it makes me, I can't take you serious. Like if you're the way that you're coming at it.